And the referee in charge of the action is Jerry Cantu.
Gentlemen, you were given your instructions in the dressing room. I want a good, clean, hard fight. You will obey without time. Touch them up. Good luck to both of you.
So we start off in the heavyweight division. We're going to start off in the heavyweight division. And Felix, we're going to end the night in the heavyweight division with Andy Ruiz, Chris, and also RUIZ-ORTIZ. Ruiz last fought Chris Arreola last May. For RUIZ-ORTIZ, he fought Prince Charles Martin in a thrilling matchup in Fort Lauderdale, Florida to begin the new year.
That's right, Ray. It's a pleasure again to be here with you. And we start right away with Martin, who basically needs a victory really bad.
Well, Prince Charles Martin, 3 losses, one of them coming at the hands of Anthony Joshua, the other to Adam Kovnatsky, and most recently on New Year's Day that you saw on Fox Sports PBC pay-per-view against Luis King Kong Ortiz. Devin Vargas, a 2004 Olympian, last fought over 4 years ago, incidentally, against Andy Ruiz Jr. Big straight left to back up Devin Vargas for Prince Charles Martin, and Martin being aggressive from the outset.
Need to recall that Martin was winning that fight against Ortiz until he received a left that ended that fight. But Martin, top heavyweight.
And I still think that Charles Martin could be a formidable force here in the heavyweight division. He just got clipped, and RUIZ-ORTIZ is a quality finisher. And a nice straight left to the abdomen by Charles Martin. Don't forget, we got 4 fights coming your way on pay-per-view, 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific time. We'll start off with Jose Valenzuela matching up against the late replacement, Edwin De Los Santos. It was supposed to be Giselle Corrales, but insert now Edwin De Los Santos, the hard-hitting power puncher from the Dominican Republic. Also, the return of Abner Mott as the 3-division world champion. The last time Abner was inside the ring was back in June of 2018 in a rematch loss at the hands of Leo Santa Cruz. Then our co-main event, Isaac Cruz, Eduardo Ramirez, should be a compelling matchup. And then Andy Ruiz Jr. and Luis King Kong Ortiz. Felix, every one of 4 of these fights I'm very excited for.
Oh, wow. Very competitive, each one. Ortiz, of course, Cruz and Ramirez, and then Maris making his comeback against Flores, Valenzuela against De Los Santos. We're set for a great, great night here in Los Angeles.
And all you have to do is scan here on the barcode, use your phone and scan it, and lock yourself in for what is going to be an entertaining night of action. Also, to begin, you know, coming up in less than an hour on FS1, you'll see Raees Aleem colliding against Mike Plania. Aleem undefeated, nice straight left to back up Devin Vargas, and look at Charles Martin go. He has been hurting Devin Vargas as Vargas languishing on the ropes, it seems like, Felix.
You know, definitely, and I don't want to say journeyman, but 22-7 with 9 KOs. He still has some power. Devin has, but Martin right now looks to be in full control.
Well, this is a bounce-back fight for Charles Martin. Make no mistake about it, he's taking on a guy with over a 4-year layoff. But again, it's one of those things that for Charles Martin, he went and put himself on the line against RUIZ-ORTIZ and had a very good account of himself up until getting stopped. But now he is looking to get back in the win column, and then I'm sure he will no doubt try to get himself in line for a bigger fight amongst the division's elite. A straight left bouncing off the head of Vargas as we near the end of round 1.
Yeah, and you'll see it during the broadcast, during the pay-per-view, the way Martin got knocked out. It was very interesting.
Well, yeah, no doubt. He actually got his glove stuck in the top rope for a brief time during the first knockdown prior to him getting finished on the second finish.
And that's when you have a RUIZ-ORTIZ with so much experience. Can he handle the speed that Andy Ruiz is going to have tonight? He came in shape. So, I mean, I don't think it's going to go to 12 rounds, really.
Well, taking a look at some of the action here with Charles Martin and Devin Vargas, but I agree with you. Look, it's one of those fights that I think we're going to get back and forth action, and anybody can win. To me, I think it is very much, you could see a case for Andy winning the fight, you could see a case for RUIZ-ORTIZ winning the fight, but here's the bottom line, Felix. The fight's going to end in a knockout, in my opinion.
No, I totally agree with you, Ray. I mean, the force that RUIZ-ORTIZ has in his punches, Andy Ruiz with the speed. It's a fight you have to see to see the outcome because, you know, we've been in boxing for years, and we can't right now say who's going to win.
It's one of those fights that I'm not going to lie to you. It took me to about 3 in the morning to go to sleep because I was that excited. And when you kind of have that kind of anticipation, you know that it's something special. And I do believe that both men here at Crypto.com Arena, formerly the Staples Center, something about this place where you always tend to get a war. It's giving me that kind of vibe tonight. And hopefully both men will come out and do exactly what we anticipate them in.
And the other 3 fights that come before that fight, I mean, how can you not like Isaac Cruz? He had a war with Gervonta Davis. And Ramirez has won 5 in a row.
And listen, the fact that Ramirez and down goes Vargas, no knockdown, so says Jerry Cantu, but Charles Martin's like, wait a minute, what happened here? Vargas taking himself some time to get up to his vertical base, but
he's leaving himself wide open now, right?
Well, I think Charles Martin needs to go out there and really turn up the heat and try to finish off Devin Vargas. And it would appear that Vargas's best days could be behind him. But again, in the heavyweight division, you got to be cognizant at all times.
No, definitely. One punch could end it. Although Martin seems in full control in this fight. Vargas trying to come back, and just upper combinations from Martin that knocks him down again. And
Vargas, another no knockdown per Jerry Cantu. And don't forget, coming up in less than an hour on FS1, it'll be RUIZ-ORTIZ, most notably known for his fantastic victory over Vic Pasillas. He will take on Mike Plani of the Philippines. Plani has won 11 in a row. Then 1 hour later, coming up at 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific time on Fox, it'll be Joey Spencer, who has been the PBC Prospect of the Year on a couple of occasions. He goes head-to-head against Mexico's own Kevin Salgado. Salgado vowing he believes he has all the power necessary in order to finish off one Joey Spencer.
You have a long night, Ray. Starting with, of course, these fights here, and then you got the pay-per-view, then FS1 and Fox. We're packed today.
Look, this is what we do on Labor Day weekend. PBC ending the summer with a bang, literally and figuratively, and I'm very excited for what is to come. The fight that really has me, and as you're seeing Charles Martin tee off on Devin Vargas, the fight that I'm pumped about, a variety of them. Well, back comes Vargas with a nice left hook. Yep. Isaac Cruz and Eduardo Ramirez, they don't like each other. Ramirez has challenged. You were on stage with me during the weigh-in, and it got rather tense up there.
Oh, they both want this fight, especially Cruz. He wants to show that fight with Davis was not a fluke, that he's a real-time fighter. He showed it against Gamboa, but now he wants to show it against Eduardo Ramirez.
As we near the end of the second round with Charles Martin in complete control against Devin Vargas, the 2004 Olympian, I got to say, Isaac Cruz has developed this cult-like following from the Mexican fan base. We did the media workouts on Wednesday on Olvera Street, a street that is very well known with Mexican restaurants and having a great deal of Mexican tradition here in LA. And the fans swarmed him. I mean, the kind of reception that Isaac Cruz got was just second to none. There is such a passion towards Isaac Cruz, and largely he gained that in his losing effort here against Gervonta Davis last December.
There's a few things in regards to the Mexican community. They want you to take on all comers, and Isaac Cruz has not told anybody, hey, I'm available. If the fight's right, well, let's take it. So they love that, and they know he's a warrior, and he just comes out aggressive to fight against anybody.
And listen, the one thing, and I told Andy Ruiz in the lead up to this fight about how excited he is, he goes, listen, to all the fans out there, get your carne asada, get whatever beverage you want, get your cervezas if you're 21 years in age and older, enjoy the barbecues. I know barbecues are going on all over the country here on this Labor Day weekend, so sit down, relax, enjoy your food, specifically some carne asada. Nobody makes it like my father, but enjoy it because we have a full slate of boxing coming your way throughout the course of the afternoon and the evening.
And the way he looked at the weigh-in, it looks like he's waiting till this fight is over to have some carne asada. So.
No doubt about it, yeah. Well, you know what? He weighed in. I'm glad you brought that up, Felix, because Andy Ruiz, as you're just seeing Charles Martin in complete control against Devin Vargas, Andy Ruiz weighed in at 268. That was the same weight that he weighed in when he defeated Anthony Joshua back in June of 2019 to become the unified heavyweight champion of the world. So my observation is that, to me, 268 is a sweet spot for Andy Ruiz Jr. Will that be the case the second time around at that weight? We'll find out later tonight against Luis King Kong Ortiz.
Yeah, speaking with his nutritionist, he said between 265 and 270, Andy will have his speed. That's where we want him, and that's where he's at.
Well, I was in camp with both Luis-Ortiz and Andy Ruiz over the past several weeks in the lead up to this fight. As a minute has elapsed in this third round, both men looked in supreme physical condition, and both men were hitting the pads very hard. Now, granted, they were pads, but still, the kind of thuds I heard from both men, just like Charles Martin just unloaded a straight left to the abdomen of Devin Vargas. I mean, look, it certainly made me take note.
No, yeah, and Ortiz, of course, 43 years old. This might be his last hurrah, so he wants to show up today and tell him that I'm still a factor. There, that was a slip.
Yeah, that was a push down for Devin Vargas. Great to be here at Crypto.com Arena, formerly the Staples Center in downtown Los Angeles. It is, right hand for Vargas, as Vargas started to gain a little bit of offense as Martin now goes backwards.
Yeah, I think gave him a little confidence here, this barrage now that Vargas has demonstrated against Martin.
Is Devin Vargas trying to turn back the clock and regain some of that fountain of youth? We will see.
Oh, is there a low blow there? Oh.
Uh-oh, that's below the belt.
He can take 5 minutes now.
Yes,
upwards.
chooses.
He's going to take a while. Looked like it definitely hit him hard there, below the belt.
Taking a look at it again, Felix.
Yeah, they were squared off right there. And,
oh, boy.
Yeah, it was right there under the belt, so he felt it right away, Vargas. Tough fighter. And let's see now. He's up, which is good. It's a bounce around a little bit. And back to fighting.
53 seconds remaining in the third round. This one is scheduled for 8.
All right, they're ready to go. Jab working well for Martin.
Good jab there for Charles Martin. And Martin jabbing. You know what's interesting, Felix, as I look at the odds for this fight with Andy Ruiz, Luis-Ortiz, Andy Ruiz is nearly a 4-to-1 favorite. Luis-Ortiz is nearly a 2.5 to 1 underdog.
And I guess because it's been talked about that people want to see Ruiz against Wilder, that could be a possibility. And maybe Ortiz's age, but I would throw that away. I mean, Ortiz looks very, very good. Weigh in.
There's a left hook for Devin Vargas, followed by a right. Well, what's interesting about that, Felix, is that both Andy Ruiz, Luis-Ortiz is a WBC heavyweight title eliminator. Also, October 15th, Deontay Wilder, Robert Helenius is a WBC heavyweight title eliminator as well. So in theory, you would think, based on what we are looking at from the sanctioning body of the WBC, that the winner of these next two fights with Ruiz and Ortiz and Wilder and Helenius will likely be on a collision course. Again, that is not necessarily set in stone, but that is what is being led by the WBC, the sanctioning body here.
Yeah, well, no, we mentioned the name Wilder, but he has a tough task ahead of him. That's going to also be on Fox pay-per-view. That's coming up in October. I mean, Helenius looked great in his last two fights.
He did, smashing Adam Kovnatski.
Took him basically out of boxing already. I mean, Kovnatski was up and coming, and Helenius had different ideas about that, and now he's fighting Wilder.
Well, Andy Ruiz's father said if they get past Luis-Ortiz, then the matchup that they want, assuming Wilder is victorious on October 15th, is that against Deontay Wilder potentially on Cinco de Mayo weekend. Can you imagine that potentially in, I don't know, Las Vegas, so to speak, Felix?
That would
Sounds
be nice.
to me like a nice little destination for that fight.
Yeah, definitely.
But a lot has to happen before you even get to that. And listen, Luis-Ortiz, not easy. I think to me it's a 50-50 fight. The only thing I can promise you is I'm staying at the JW Marriott. I think I need to get the front office staff to bring a blanket and a pillow because someone is being put to sleep tonight in our main event, my friend.
And they'll do well with those pillows.
Oh, yeah. Hey, very comfortable pillows, by the way. But nothing that I want to wake up looking up at the lights here at Crypto.com Arena. But that is in a few hours from now, 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific time. Join us for the pay-per-view. All you have to do is scan right here to buy the pay-per-view. Literally, we make it easy for you. You can buy the pay-per-view in the palm of your hand.
Now just to put the phone, right? Boom,
That's it.
And
Boom.
you get it. Wow.
Hook it up to your smart TV and you're good to go.
Nice.
Nice straight left by Charles Martin. But Martin has been dominating for the most part this fight against Devin Vargas. Vargas is no doubt, I like to say, a cagey veteran. But it's obvious that Martin has youth on his side and is just he's in a better stage of his career.
But in all fairness, I mean, Martin, I thought he was going to have a little better showing. He needs one to get back to be relevant.
Yeah.
And Vargas is hanging in there.
Yeah, Vargas is coming forward. He gained some confidence in that third round, and now he continues to apply the pressure. There's a right hand as now he's trying to back up Charles Martin. Martin looking to get crafty. Big left uppercut. And now Martin is starting to take control, busting up the face of Devin Vargas. I'm just glad we're not literally sitting at the apron because I would hate to get any DNA on my tuxedo. And this one is over. Charles Martin has wiped out Devin Vargas in the fourth round with just over a minute to go. And that was a solid performance from Charles Martin. Devin Vargas, no doubt, was aggressive, but Martin finished him off, turned up the heat, and away he went as Charles Martin elevates his record to 29-3-1. And Felix, literally, it's almost like he hurt you because you were saying you almost were urging him to pick up the pace, and literally 2 seconds later, he did that.
Yes, he needed that fight, his KO number 26 in his career, and now he's relevant again. Now we can say, you know, let's see what Martin has to offer in another fight. We want to see him again.
If you could forecast stoppages like that, Felix, can you forecast the weather? How's it going to be like tomorrow here in LA? But talk us through the finish of the fight, Felix.
I think it might be sunny. I mean, he saw an opening. He was cut already, was Vargas, and then he just unloaded, did Martin. And the referee did stop it at the appropriate time.
So Charles Martin elevates his record to 29-3-1, 26 knockouts. He gets back in the win column to make it all official. We send it up to ring announcer. Here's Miguel Flores.
Ladies and gentlemen, the end comes at 1 minute and 59 seconds of round number 4. For your winner by knockout, Prince Charles Martin.
So Prince Charles Martin victorious against the 2004 Olympian Devin Vargas.